Good, happy Tuesday evening, November 17, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to this Tuesday evening edition of The News with Riley King. Let's begin. First up, we're going to begin with your COVID-19 dashboard from Johns Hopkins University in Medicine. Let's take a look at that dashboard right now. And here is a check of that dashboard for all of you right now. There are 55,472,374 global cases. There are 11,320,337 U.S. cases. There are 1,335,211 deaths of global deaths. And there are 248,227 U.S. deaths. And that is a look at your Johns Hopkins University in Medicine COVID-19 dashboard for this evening. Now let's get to some other news. Biden's top COVID-19 advisor says team needs access to federal data. In their first call with reporters on Tuesday, the three co-chairs of Biden's COVID-19 task force said they need immediate access to the federal agencies to ensure there is no delay in rolling out a vaccine. They also warned that they aren't sure when the latest surge will peak and just how bad winter will get. We don't have a day to waste, said David Kessler, former head of Food and Drug Administration and co-chair of Biden's COVID-19 task force. The vaccine distribution is difficult and daunting under any circumstances. It's not hypothetical when you think about how dire things are, added a physician and co-chair who used to work from Yale. I think we can distribute the projection, but we need as much information as possible, she later added. Kessler later gave a nod to the COVID-19 tracking project and other data projects he said his team is dependent on without access to the federal data. As the Trump administration refuses to ascertain Biden, the president-elect's team is denied access to resources normally available during a transition. With the pandemic raging, that includes access to Health and Human Services career staff who are preparing distribution plans for the vaccine. Latest updates on stockpile numbers for essential items and detailed vaccine distribution plans. In fighting and an attempt cope, Trump team erupts into chaos as Giuliani takes over legal efforts. Giuliani filed to appear in court on behalf of the campaign Tuesday. As President Donald Trump's legal efforts challenging the election results continue to hit dead ends, his campaign and legal teams have descended into chaos behind the scenes as many brace for the end of the post-election fight, multiple sources tell ABC News. State officials say they're baffled, offended by false election claims. No state has validated President Trump's claims of rigged election. For many of the officials who helped guide the nation through the 2020 presidential election, they saw a record turnout in the midst of the deadly pandemic. The past 2 weeks of protests and cries of voter fraud have been both baffling and frustrating, and there are no voter fraud evidence. Still, Trump's team still has not showed any evidence of that. So there is no evidence of voter fraud in this election this year. Pentagon announces troop reduction into Afghanistan and Iraq. 2,500 American troops will remain in each country by mid-January. The U.S. troop pressure in Afghanistan and Iraq will be reduced to 2,500 in each country by mid-January, Acting Defense Secretary Christopher Miller announced on Tuesday. And now let's take a look at that U.S. stock market and see how the U.S. stock market closed for this Tuesday evening. And here's a check of the U.S. stock market for all of you for this Tuesday evening. Your Dow Jones Industrial Average closed in the bottom went down. Your Nasdaq closed in the bottom went down. S&P 500 closed in the bottom went down. Gold closed in the bottom went down. Oil closed in the bottom went down. U.S. 10-year closed flat. Euro/USD closed flat. And VIX closed in the green and went up. And we're going to switch gears now. Let's take a look at your weather for this evening across the United States. And here's a check of the weather across the United States for all of you this evening. In Boston, it'll be 28 degrees with some clouds and a moon. In New York City, it'll be 33 degrees with moon and stars. In Washington, D.C., it'll be 34 degrees with moon and clouds. In Atlanta, it'll be 33 degrees with moon and stars. Jacksonville, Florida, 52 degrees with moon and stars. Tampa Bay, Florida, 54 degrees with moon and stars. Miami, Florida, it'll be 72 degrees and a breeze. In Dallas, 46 degrees with moon and a cloud. In Phoenix, it'll be 60 degrees with moon and stars. In Las Vegas, it'll be 53 degrees with clouds and moon. And in Los Angeles, it'll be 52 degrees with clouds and moon. And in San Francisco, 56 degrees and rain. And that is a look at the weather across the United States this evening. And that does it for this evening edition of the news with Riley King. Thank you for watching this evening edition of the news with Riley King. Have a great rest of your evening, and I'll see you back here tomorrow for another edition of the news with Riley King. Good night, goodbye, everyone.